and welcome back to this very special edition of the Benchwarmers. I'm joined as always by my co-host Brad. We say it every week, but it is a big week in footy. The final home and away season. It feels like we just started the year only yesterday. Now we're going to preview the first week of finals.
It does, Matt. It has absolutely flown by, and it's been something to keep a close eye on this, how everything's panned out. And we were absolutely treated on the weekend. We had 4 massive games, all in their own right, and I can't wait to get stuck in.
We're going to get to them shortly. First, we've got to thank our major sponsor, the Exchange Hotel, along with all of our sponsors who help the show go to air each and every week. Thank you very much. We're going to thank them now. When we come back, we're going to have a look at the Feel Good Fill Up. As we said, thank you to those sponsors that help us and have been with us all year, Brad. Some of them for multiple years as well, which we are very honoured to have them on with us at Cotton Media. Let's get into the Feel Good Fill Up. It's brought to you by Rejuvenate Sports and Remedial Therapy. Brad and the team down there, make sure you go and see him. 10% off for all Benchwarmers watchers as well. Just mention the Benchwarmers and he'll look after you as well. What do we got this week, Brad?
Matt, it's finals week and it is getting serious, and this segment's taken us all over the place this year. I've gone from Snoop Dogg to dog walkers back in round 2. You might remember that was a fan favourite. Louis Escobar. Hope you're well, Louis. He'd be tuning in. But we are finals, getting a little bit more serious, so I kept it a little bit closer to home this time. And I've actually gone with the Hawthorn Football Club as the Feel Good Fill Up this week. Now, at the start of the year, they were predicted to finish absolutely nowhere. They then started 0-5. That didn't help their case. Since then, they've played with flair, personality. Sammy Mitchell, he's let them do that. He's let the dog off the leash, if you will. They've ended up finishing 7th, and they're only the 3rd team to make finals from 0-5, and they're everyone's second favourite team at the minute. If you have another team, you love watching the Hawks and you love following their social media as well. Yes. That's always a good laugh. So goes out to them, a sensible one today, Chook, but I'm a big fan of the Hawks and I can't wait to watch them let it loose.
I think the Hawks are a bit like what Collingwood was for a lot of people last year. When they're playing a team that plays a good brand of footy, you just love watching them, and that's when they become your second team. And Sam Mitchell, he made a statement that they're not going to go and try and do what everyone's doing now. They're going to try and play the next method of footy that's going to win AFL games. So he went in and said, defence is out the window, it's all about attack. And he stuck by that, and now they're reaping the rewards of that, the Hawthorn Footy Club. They're going to be a great side to watch in the finals. And they're the most informed side at the moment, I reckon, and they will cause some headaches. So looking forward to them, and as a North supporter, I'll be cheering on the Hawks in the finals. So
they'll be very interested to watch. And the AFL would have to be happy with them because they'd be bringing in fans and attention all over the place. So I hope they go a long way.
Well said, Brad. We're going to have a quick break, come back, have a look at round 18 in the Barossa. Yes, as Brad said off the top, a massive round 18 in the Barossa. It had it all. Let's go through the games and have a look what it did have, Brad. And it was that fight for wooden spoon first and foremost. Kapunda defeating Gawler Central's. Kapunda 19-12, 126, defeating Gawler Central's 14-10. 94, a big win by the Bombers.
This had absolutely everything, this one, Matt. So starting off, we had Menzel, best on ground, and 10 goals, if you don't mind. I don't know when the last Kapunda player would have kicked 10 goals. That's a massive effort, and he has had a massive year. And for Gawler Central, it was Joe Botton, best on ground, and 4 goals as well. As I said a few weeks ago, the spirit animal for Gawler Central, but he couldn't quite get it done for them. Gawler Central were 3 points up at 3/4 time, but obviously getting done by that margin. Now, Chook, an interesting stat for you: the only teams to win the last 2 games of the season for the Barossa Light and Gawler. We've got Tanunda, we've got Angaston. Some would say they're probably the 2 flag favourites at the minute in form. Angaston just knocking off Williston as well, and we've got Kapunda. That's the only 3 teams to win the last 2 games of the season. And Kapunda, how's this? Their 4th quarters, the last 2 weeks, 11 goals 8 to 0 goals 5. So I don't know what their fitness regime is down there, but they've ran absolutely over the top of Newry and Gawler Central and got themselves off the bottom of the ladder. How is that for a finish to the year?
It is a fantastic finish, and it will give them some excitement going into next year, which they so desperately need. So well done to the Bombers, and Gawler Central's first wooden spoon in the club's history. We believe. So tough day for the Tigers, but they'll be looking forward to the off-season and to sink their teeth into some recruiting as well.
That's right.
Right under the Bombers there. Tanunda taking on South Gawler. This was another cracking game we're looking forward to, Brad. It was Tanunda 13-7-85 defeating South Gawler 10-16-76.
Another game that had it all as well, Matt. We had Top taking on fourth and two heavyweights of the competition. South, they are fourth, but they finished fourth, but they can't be taken lightly with the last few years. They know how to play this time of year. For Tanunda, it was Calhoun, best on ground, and Shea Linky, 6 goals. He was back. We're going to have to watch that one closely, though. We got, for South, it was Lockie Arnold, best on ground, and Henry Bennison, 3 goals. It did actually turn out to be a dead rubber in the end, this game, but it was played nothing like that, wasn't it, Matt? This was a fiery one.
There was a fire there. There was a couple of hard hits both ways, so it'll be interesting to see how they played out. But it's one of those games where, you know, for Tanunda, they want to start feeling cherry ripe for their finals. Now, no Linky in the finals. That's going to be...
So we're hearing.
Surely they're doing everything they can to get him back.
Yes, I said I'll start the GoFundMe page because I want to watch him that badly. He is a star. I'm glad you brought him up, Matt. 9 games for the year and 36 goals. He's equal fourth on the goal kicking, playing half the year.
Well, there's been a few messages floating around today that they're looking forward to your reaction to Linky not playing through the finals because they thought you might burst.
Yes,
so,
I've taken me chill pill before the show, but who knows? Like we couldn't predict it the whole year. I think there could be a trick up the sleeve just yet. So as far as we know, Linky, as far as I know, doing my research, as you should, do your due diligence, he had some form of holiday booked 18 months or 24 months ago for coming up now. He didn't know where, at that stage, he was an SANFL player, he didn't know where he was going to be at this point, and he just so happens to be in Tanunda in the flag favourites camp, and so they're going to be doing everything to, well, I don't know how it works or what the details of the holiday are, but God, we're going to have to watch that one closely is all I can say.
You're very excited there, Brad,
yes.
and it's going to be an interesting watch, but Sam Calhoun, Shea Linky's performance, is allowing Sam Calhoun to go under the radar.
That's right.
He's a star.
He is, Matt. Muffins, I think you call him so affectionately. But he is a star, and I'll probably skim over him a lot of the time. We know what to expect. He'll probably come out and win the Schluter this year, to be honest. And Calhoun, that is.
Yes.
And yes, he is a star and shouldn't be underestimated.
No, absolutely not. Let's have a look at the next game, Brad, and it was the farewell to Williamstown Oval. It was Barossa 15-13-103, defeating Freeling 12-5-77. Probably nice to see the back of Williamstown Oval for everyone involved.
Yes, and you say that jokingly, the surface, we've said that all year. The surface at this time of year gets a bit boggy, but I know
what you're going to go and play in.
Yes,
as well.
exactly. But it actually would have been a big, quite an emotional day. They've played there for a long time, Matt, and I'm glad to see them come out with the win in there. They celebrated in style, and the ones that did celebrate in style, we had Mazzone, best on ground, and Harris, 3 goals for Barossa. Hopefully they stick around next year as part of the other quartet that re-signed. And for Freeling, it was Green, best on ground, and Cochrane, 4 goals, finishing off the year in style for Freeling. But yes, Barossa, they had it all. They had the win. They had a commemorative beer. I almost got all tied up there. They had a Guernsey as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do apologise. I think it was for the Williamstown Saints was the original team there that they combined. Yes, lovely. And they got the win in it. And some of the old premiership heroes coming back as well to actually play in the twos, including Darren Sharp, so he put on the boots for one last time at Williamstown.
He would have been a menace in the twos as well, Sharpie. He's a very scary man, so no doubt he would have kicked a couple, but it's a ground that you actually probably suits the way you play, Brad. So for the young Brad Baines coming through, they might prefer to play on Williamstown Oval rather than Lingdock. Yeah,
that's right. Scrappy skills and a bit off the pace. It all comes back at Williamstown at the peak of the rainfall, so... Yes, I loved a good day out at Williamstown.
You certainly did. Let's have a look at the last game, and it was Williston defeated by Angaston. Williston 12-9-81 defeated by Angaston 13-10-88. The Panthers, Brad, they're going to do some damage.
They are going to do some damage potentially, but they're going to have to do it the hard way, Matt. We did say that maybe 4 goals would get it done. That was obviously second versus third. Angaston only winning by 7 points and missing out by 0.36% on that second spot. So who knows whether that does come back to haunt them, but they do go into a home final this week, if you don't mind. So we'll preview that in a sec. For Williamstown, it was Mackenzie, best on ground, and Waldhooter, 5 goals. They're a couple of stars, and you love seeing them flying this time of year. For Angaston, it was Shepherd, best on ground, and Steve Rusker, 4 goals as well, finding some form. You love to see that.
Well, fan favourite of ours, Steve Rusker, so great to see him getting amongst the goals, and he's just a talent wherever he's played, so looking forward to watching him in the finals.
Yes, he'll be a star and hard at it as well. So when the ball's there to be won, I'm sure he'll have something to say about it. But yes, for Angaston, they at the end of the day, none of the top 4 moved this round, and it was a fantastic round of footy, but Angaston are going to have to do it tough and win 3 in a row to take it out as one of the informed teams of the comp.
I reckon they've got the ability to do it, Brad, but let's have a look at the first final. We're going to have a quick break, thank our sponsors, and then come back because we're excited to sink our teeth into that one. All right, Brad, best time of year. Let's have a look. It's 1 game a week.
Yes, it's going to be a big 4 weeks.
Which is makes it for a short segment. But Angaston v South Gawler, 3v4 elimination final, or first semi-final, whatever you want to call it, at Angaston. So Angaston with the upper advantage, just the way it's played out.
Yes.
That's what happens. And South probably not the greatest of memories in big finals at Angaston in recent years.
No, Matt. Obviously, a couple of years ago, that was my last game of football ever. So that was a good way to go out. But no, South, I'll get to the form line, because they did actually knock off Angaston at Angaston this year. So
that's why I said finals.
Yes, that's right, Matt. But obviously this one is at Angaston just by chance, as you said. We do have a 60% chance of 0 to 3 mils there, and also a little bit coming on Friday as well. So see how that holds up. The obviously bowl shape of the Angaston Oval doesn't quite drain that well. So 3 mils, you could feel every bit of that up there. But we do have a bit of wind, hopefully drying it out, with up to 43 km/h winds, and turning into a westerly, so going straight across to the outer wing, just like that grand final day, nice and windy and wet. So who knows, they're going to have to do it the hard way, both teams. Angaston, 12 wins and 4 losses for the year. Obviously South Gawler a spot behind them, 11 wins and 5 losses. Back in round 5, South knocked them off 17-12, 114 to 12-9, 81. That one was at Angaston. The more recent form we have for the two teams, Angaston got the chocolates 15-9, 99 over the top of South, 5-8, 38. That one was at South Gawler. Is that more of a form line only happening about a month ago, Matt?
I don't think so. From memory, I don't think Steve Burton played that day, and South had a few out at that time. So I think it's going to be an even contest once it gets to this finals time now. So South, I think, are going to have some headaches of what they do around points. They've got Anton Bullock, who's playing some really good footy, and they've got Brodie Lake there as well. So they probably only can play one of them potentially, I think. So they're going to have to make some hard calls around that, because 2 of them are probably both worthy of playing in the side. So they're going to have some selection headaches. They get some back, which is going to be good for them. But no doubt Angaston will be primed and ready as well. I think, for me, I'm going with the Panthers. I've probably been on board with what they're doing all year, and I just like the way they're going and fine-tuning at the moment. I reckon they're ready to cause some headways in the finals.
Yes, I tend to agree, Matt, unfortunately. Obviously, South through and through. But yeah, as you said, we might see Jackson Press, Dean Cutting and Chris James return for South from a few niggles. They'll have a bit to say. Obviously, Pressy loves this time of year as well. He's battling with a little knee. I'm a numbers man, Matt, and I might cop it in the old Premiership Snapchat group from Thorpe. He usually watches this deep into the show. He's playing very well as well. But I'm going to go Angaston. I'm going to stick to the numbers and the form line. But I hope South prove me very wrong.
And that's why you are a professional at what you do, Brad, and why we love you on the show, because you do look into the numbers and you find your tip from there. So well done. Good luck to both teams. Good luck to everyone, Brad, playing in finals. both footy and netball, make sure you get out to Angaston on the weekend. It will be a great day. It's always great. It's a carnival-like atmosphere, the Barossa finals.
It's great.
With netball, footy. So make sure you get out there and get behind your team, and we'll see you all next week to preview. We'll wrap up the first week of finals and preview the second week of finals, which we can't wait to do as well. So we'll see you all next week.